Hello, I would like to start this video by saying Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and hope everyone has a wonderful holidays. To make it more wonderful, check this out. Oh, could you look any better? Could you look any better? Down to, wait for it, the eyeglass socks and the green shoes, which my loving wife got for me and found me to complete this wonderful ensemble. So, alright, enough of that. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to begin by saying, let me grab all this. Hang on, getting a phone call from the wife. Let me hit. Okay, sorry about that. The wife was just calling on my smartwatch there. So, Eddie in Lynn, Massachusetts. Santa Claus did what UPS was unable to do. There was a delay in getting your RayBan 5277 color 2077, which is the sandblasted black and the 52 eye size. Santa Claus was able to bring this right before Christmas. So let's begin. In your Italian hard shell clamshell, as they call it, is, well, your RayBan cleaning cloth. But the star of the show, the main attraction, comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it's being shipped from overseas. And I'm going to put that on there when I ship to you. But this is the long-awaited, the long-sought-after RayBan 5277, color 2077 in the 52 eye size. Evidently, very popular frame. RayBan could not keep these things in stock or could not get shipped to me either way. But let's go ahead and begin. You've waited long enough. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses, one of which says RayBan on there. And I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my edger and hit start. Everybody wants to know, how does the machine know what shape to cut? This is why. The stylus is going to go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so you'll be reimbursed for this purchase whether they are prescription or not. So I'm going to do what they say can't be done. I'm going to go past the 8-minute YouTube mark where everyone with short attention spans lose interest and hit stop. If that's you, you can fast forward to the end. But follow me on this 20-minute colorful journey. Look, got a little reindeer right there. As I cut transition lenses, transitions gray with Crizal Prevencia for your frame. So let's go ahead. I'm going to come down here to the lensometer and turn the axis wheel to 175. There it is, 175. Put the power drum, and actually let me check everything, make sure it's zeroed out. Put the power drum on minus 375. Take your right lens, put it into the viewfinder, rotate it until the spherical power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of your lens. Check your astigmatism correction, which I'll explain in a little bit. And then I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. 1, 2, 3, that's good. And this is the right lens. Let's put that there. This is the right lens. Put that one up there. Let's do the same thing now for the left. Turn the axis wheel to 170. And by the way, Eddie, that was my wife calling. Your Oakleys have arrived. She's going to be dropping them off. And I'll get the Oakleys cut for you next. Put the power drum on minus 3. Put the lens in and rotate it till the spherical powers come in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. Make sure everything's lined up perfectly. And put 3 dots on these lenses. Oh yeah, that's good. Let me darken that one a little bit there. And this is the left lens. Let me double check one thing while I'm here. Back to 175. Make sure I was not distracted by the phone call. Minus 375. Minus 150. Nah, we're good. Okay, so that's the right lens. We're going to put it there. The pupillary distance for your eyes is 59 divided by 2 is 29.5, so the computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap this minus button a couple times till we get to 29.5. I do want to raise the optical center height up to about 18 in this frame. So let's see, the right lens. Oh, before I get started, this is a block. Excuse me, I caught a little cold or a little cough, a little tickle in my throat today. I need to attach this to your lens. it's still alive. It's trying to get away from me. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got right here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this onto the first block. Put that there on the platform. Do the same thing now for the second block. Now on the back is a silver button that is a magnet. That's going to do its job twice today. First, I'm going to make the black side sticky. I'm going to line up that magnet with something magnetical there in the arm. Attach that there. Now 29.5, 18 OC height. Let me go ahead and write that down, document that. And the reason why I put those dots on there, it tells me that's oriented in there just perfectly and where it needs to go. So this blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. So I'm going to line up those dots to make everything nice and perfect. Hit this button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. If I needed to change the pupillary distance, I would do that there. But I don't need to in your case. The same optical center height is established. Line everything up. Black dot goes there. The other 2 are lined up on that meridian, tells me that it's in there perfectly. Hit that button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I'm running my mouth. That doesn't seem fair, does it? It costs $30,000, excuse me, $40,000. I recommend, and it weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own. Then you can put it on your kitchen counter and you can cut your own lenses. You won't need this guy with the ugly suit to cut your lenses for you. Here's a prop. I just got finished reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Great book. I highly recommend it. I'm going to change the way I do some of my videos because I'm changing some of my paradigms, becoming more proactive, doing things differently. And I hope reading changes your lives like the way it has with mine. As I said, there's more to come on that, but I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently in my videos from now on. So, the actual cutting wheel is right here. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, that's what cuts the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and take this right lens, press that on there really well, bring the shape up onto the computer first. Okay, these are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high-index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of your lenses because that's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a bevel onto the front surface of your lens. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Ding! I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses. First, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And then as always, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness shown. Now the cutting wheel is starting to spin. Now if you see light flickering in the background, that is water to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off of the lens. As it comes down on the cutting wheel, polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle just to wash away any optical debris that you see beginning to form on the lens. Now your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable, very high impact resistant lenses and have both 100% UVA and B protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every few hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now your lenses are also aspheric. Aspherically means not spherical. A spherical lens is round in every direction, just like a sphere. So not only your lens is thinner and lighter weight, but the front curvature is flatter to fit in today's flatter curvature frames to give you a much better cosmetic look. Now, it doesn't give you that fishbowl appearance like this lens will do. Now, you also have the transitions, which I'll demonstrate later, but you also have the Crizal Prevencia anti-glare coating. Anti-glare is 3 features in one. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain. but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights, and the such. But it's also an anti-reflective coating, so it reduces reflections. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at the reflection in your glasses. Or if someone takes a picture with a flash, or you take a selfie, you won't see the flash lit up in your lens. You'll see just your eyes. It makes for much better eye contact and makes your lenses look thinner. Now the third feature that I like is because the machine that applies the Crizal Prevencia costs well over $1 million and takes over 8 hours to vaporize. I'm sorry, it takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings, 8 different layers onto your lens. They put the industry's hardest scratch coating on that to protect your time and investment. Now Crizal Prevencia, the other nice thing about it is you can notice it has a a purplish hue. Most Crizal coatings are greenish purple, and Crizal Prevencia is a truer purple because it blocks the harmful blue lights emitted from today's electronic devices. It's purple because those blue lights are in the ultraviolet spectrum. So for people who spend a lot of time at the computer, on tablets, on cell phones, there's been a lot of research to say that we need to block the intensity of the light that gets to our eyes. So water has begun spraying onto the lens. It tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. But that harmful blue light they say, some of the research says is what causes ADD in kids. It can definitely affect your sleep patterns. It can do a lot of things to you. The other thing, the most important one to me, everything has different uses, but right now it's projected they can also help reduce the probability or the percentage of the people who get macular degeneration. There is currently no cure for macular degeneration, which is the degeneration of your macula. That is like having a blind spot in front of you, and no matter what you do, if that's your blind spot, you have to move your head to get that out of the way. So if there's any way, it's a terrible disease, it's a terrible affliction. I know some very intelligent people who are unable to read now because of macular degeneration, and it must just be terrible for them. As we age, we lose the ability to do certain things that we receive great joy in, and that is a natural thing. But as we age, can you imagine for the extremely intelligent not to be able to sit in a chair and read, or read to their grandchildren because of that, or to enrich their lives? Which, by the way, can I just say again how much this book has affected me and has inspired me to read a book a week to become a better person. So, the water did not wash off all the optical sawdust, also known as swarf, so I'm going to remove that myself. Use my thumbnail to go all the way around. And normally I say, may the swarf be with you, but it's not, because I'm going to scrape it off. And in my early videos, once I had it removed from the lens, I would carefully and neatly collect it into one pile and then wipe it on the floor. But my wife, bless her heart, as we say in the South, is tired of me making everything dirty. So I put the trash can here, and I'm going to wipe that into the trash can. Love you, honey. So let's see if it fits first time around. I'm going to take the lens and tuck it into the outside corner of the frame using my thumbs. I press, but it does not go in, so I want to take a little bit more off of the lens. I'm going to take my stylus, and let's see, we're at minus 0.10. Let's do 0.15. That is 0.15 of a millimeter. I'm going to take off again from this lens. I'm going to hit the retouch button. The door is going to close, the clamp's going to shut, and the lens is going to go back down onto the bevel wheel to take 1/15 of a millimeter off the lens. A millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to leave 85% of that, but I'm going to take 0.15 off of that millimeter, going around the circumference of your lens so it snaps into your frame easily. I do not want to force the lens into the frame. A lot of places will use heat to heat up the frame to make make the frame more pliable so that the lens will pop in easier. I'm going to do what's known as the cold mount, because using heat I can force the lens in there, sure, but over time it's going to cause your frame to stretch or to roll. If you imagine your frame, the bevel's like a gutter. If the lens were too large, it's going to force the bottom of the lens to roll outwards, shortening the life of your frame and giving you an ugly cosmetic appearance. So because I take the time to perfectly cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide, this video, again, going past the 8-minute mark on YouTube, that all the YouTube gurus say, don't go over 8 minutes. I guess I just got to break some rules. So I just opened that door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I keep staring at it. I can do it. The only thing I can't do is come up with new jokes. So if you have a joke funnier than anything I've said, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me, and I will read it on the air. You don't even have to include your name. I'll recognize your handwriting and give you credit. Still, not large enough. I mean, not small enough. So I'm not going to force. I'm going to take another 0.10. We're now at a quarter of a millimeter. I'm going to hit retouch. So this is installment 1 of my 258 million installments of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. So Eddie in Lynn, Massachusetts, you are the first installment of 258 million more pairs of glasses to go. Now that is positive thinking. But given enough time, I think I can do it. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford said that. The power of positive thinking. We all come across obstacles in my life, in our lives. My life is no different. I am a small David competing in a world of Goliaths with one company owning 80% of all the optical shops out there. I come across many roadblocks and many obstacles, but I keep moving forward, just like the hands of a clock. Keep moving forward. An old-timer who mentored me years ago said, even if you fall on your face, you're still moving forward. And it's a reminder that I've had this week to do that. Because even though I have obstacles, my competitors, they also have the same obstacles. And it's how we climb over those roadblocks. Personally, I've made mine a stepping stone as I climb to new heights. So, dry that off. Let's see if this fits this time. If not, you know what we're going to do next. Tuck it in at the outside corner using my thumbs, press down, and it snaps in this time. Thank you for cooperating. And let's go ahead and do the same thing for the left. Hopefully I won't have to take it down. The right lens always takes longer. Once you get everything the right size, flip it over, do the left, and it should match. Now, having said that, let's see what obstacles I will overcome on this. I'm gonna hit the green button. The door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, again making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape, following my finger, which is the shape. And just like before, the carpenter saying measure twice, cut once, it's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel. So you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, and look at that, no edge thickness whatsoever. So, while that is cutting, let's go ahead and keep working on the right lens. I'm going to take this block off, and remembering a challenge that was posted to me by one of my viewers, instead of throwing these in the trash, because I mentioned that I like to recycle. So they said, why am I throwing these in the trash? So I have started saving them just for my videos. I'm going to place that one there. And again, I keep saying that I should put Christmas lights around here and make this my Christmas tree. I really should. You know, that's one of the steps. I keep going back to it. Everything, you know, when you're really inspired by something, you can't help but see so many places in your life to implement what you've just learned. And one of the 7 steps, which one is it? Where can we find it? Is to put things first. Habit 3, I should go out and get those lights. The other thing I do is I like to now start, I left it in my new book. I carry a highlighter with me all the time in my shirt pocket, so I can highlight what is important to me. And then this morning, even though I finished reading the book yesterday, I went through and I read just what I highlighted to find out what was important. The challenge is not to manage time, but to manage ourselves. How true, how true. So, manage myself, keep working. So let's turn the axis wheel. It's actually at 175. I'm going to put it in above that blurry dot and measure the power, and I am getting minus 375, 1 tick mark away from 4. Excuse me. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, and it starts at 0 and goes up in quarter increments from there. So let me do this, 312, you're at 15 steps of far-sighted correction. With your glasses off, you are nearsighted. Everything is much too large than it appears in real life. So when you put, that's why there's a minus sign in front of your lens. Your lenses minify, the opposite of reading glasses that magnify. Your lens minifies 15 steps for your far-sighted correction. Now once everything is the correct size, we have to correct for your astigmatism correction, of which you have another 6 steps. So you have 21 steps of correction total. You have 1 step on your eye, the spherical correction going this way. You have an astigmatic second curve on your eye this way, which is steeper. If this were flat, this one would be curved more. And it's how you line up those 2 curves that make everything nice and crisp. So astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike with the letters P and F, and we're going to turn that fine-tuned knob to 175. So if you can think of a straight line being 0 to 90 to 180 and 270 for those of you keeping score at home, we're going to turn that fine-tuned knob to 175 right before the 180 meridian, and that's where we're at, 175. We're going to check your astigmatism correction, and we end up, that's not what I needed, at -5 1/4. That's because, remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, don't worry. I was pretending you did so you could help me with this, because I've forgotten. Let's use today's terms. You would loan somebody $3.75, and then they needed to borrow another $1.50. They would owe you $5.25. That's where at $5.25 in the red. Now, you only need 12 steps of far-sighted correction in your left eye, but you need 7 steps of astigmatic. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. Unlike the suit, this is almost an affliction. And how do you like the white glasses to go with it? But the first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number is just the fine-tuned knob. So this could be anywhere from 0 to 180. But we're at 175 on your right, where the fine-tune knob is at 170 on your left. If any of you missed that, let me recap. Oh, you thought you were going to get away without one more bad joke in this video, but nope, you're going to get it. So, let's come back down here. I entered a pun contest one time, and to make sure that I would win first place, I submitted 10 puns. However, no pun intended did win. So, scrape that off, throw that in the trash. If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. Especially at Christmas time. It's just too cold to sleep in my car, so I got to keep her happy. So let's see if this fits. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner using my thumbs, press down at the nose. Aha! Aha! It does not want to go in. Let's keep going past that 8-minute mark. And hit another 1/10 of a millimeter, hit retouch. Did I just get another text? No, it's Twitter. Boy, they'd never end. So everyone out there, since I've got a little bit of time to kill, if there is a book that has changed your life for the better that is not the Bible, not taking anything away from the Bible, I do read that. That one is very easy for me to find. I have one nearly in every room of my house, but there are books that are not in my house, not in my library. So leave a comment in the comment section if there's a book that has changed your life for the better, for the positive, that has affected how you relate to people, your family, the people you come into contact with daily, even someone who's the cashier at the grocery store. I'm all about becoming a better person, and I hope that journey never ends. My grandfather, who is a great role model in my life, published several books of poetry, as well as did several paintings and sculptures, as well as holding down a full-time job, who was a man of the cloth, by the way. But one of his favorite poems, my favorite poem by him, which was entitled Flight 80, he wrote it on his 80th birthday. He said, "Where is the joy of search if all is known?" That's why we must always continue to learn, and hopefully we're never satisfied with what we know and what we can achieve. As I learn, I'm committed to helping others, not with just with their sight, but with how they live their life. I'm going to try and use my thumbs, push down the nose. I have started a new program called 2 for 1. I'm going to drop that off there. Whenever you buy 2 pair of glasses from me, I'm going to donate 1 pair of glasses to the less fortunate after I make my little monster. So I will donate anyone who buys 2 pair of glasses. And Eddie, that's you, since let's start that today with you. As I start to become a better person myself, you bought this pair from me, you've sent me your Oakleys, I'm going to put lenses in. I will donate a pair of glasses to anyone you've deemed necessary. And locally in my shop, I'm doing it for kids in the school system. I've contacted Red Cross, anyone who's lost their home due to a fire or a flood in my own community. I need to contact I don't want to mispronounce the term right, I'm not thinking of it clearly, but the shelter for battered women. Anyone who is forced to flee and does not have their glasses with them under any circumstances, rest homes, anything like that, I will gladly donate a complete pair of frame and lenses to anyone, Eddie, that you feel is worthy and needs a pair. We all share this planet. You just tell me who I need to send it to. Give me their prescription. I just turned the fine-tune knob to 170. Find out the power, and I'm getting -3. That's what oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit that. -3. You have 7 steps of astigmatism correction. If all goes well, the next power I read will be -475, 1 tick mark away from 5, so that is perfect. Your pupillary distance is 59, so I'm going to turn the card around, and in the center of these blurry dots, I hope that's blurry, I hope that's just not my glasses. That better not be a single perfect dot to you guys, and it's time for me to get a new pair, because I don't know who's going to make me a pair. Who's going to donate a pair of glasses to me? But I put my PD stick, and then when we measure in the middle of that blurry spot on your left lens, we're getting 59 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Now, this is the point in every video that as I clean your lens, that's what I'm looking for. That I mentioned that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance, just so I don't smear any of that excess ink on there that was blurring. Let's get a new cloth here. Don't worry, I'm a gardener. I plant lots of trees every year. If I go through tissues, I'm going to save this. Both of these, which you won't see in the videos, I continue to use these on additional pairs that are not on the video, so that's not just being used once. I do recycle. But when you get these in the mail, if they're too loose or too tight, just stop by your local place where you had your eye exam and just tell them if they're too loose or too tight, or if they sit high on one side. It only takes about 30 seconds to adjust 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses, and because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments. So just pop in and tell them what needs to be done, and they'll be glad to do it for you. But in the meantime, I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them down on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. Let's see if mine have it. I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, there is a wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Let me put mine back on so you can see what we're doing. As you see in many videos, I wear the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer. I can't see what the color code of this one is without my glasses on. This is a discontinued color. It is color 671, which is all white. See, my prescription is different. I'm a hyperope. I need that magnification, so let me put mine back on so I can see what you're doing. You are a myope. You need the minification. You can read what's written on here so well without your glasses on. Hold it out here and it's just a complete blur. Well, for me, the farther away it is, the better. So, this is what your lenses look like the first time while they're still clear, your transitions with the Crizal Prevencia. I'm going to go ahead and activate them for the first time, meaning I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. So all transition lenses take about 30 to 45 seconds to darken when you go outside. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now this is important, Eddie, pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun. They're going to continue to darken every day for 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks till they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Their windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet light that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now they do offer the Transitions Extra Active that will get about 30 to 50% dark in a car, but he did not want to go with that. He wanted the lens as clear as possible inside. Regular Transitions retain about 3 to 5% hue indoors. The Transitions Extra Active have about 5 to 7% of hue indoors. Now they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. This time of year it's not an issue, but in the middle of July and August it's really tough for someone to really enjoy a brand new pair of Transitions when they just don't get as dark on day one. So, but that's it. That's the first time they're exposed. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks. Come on, Eddie, we talked about that, don't you remember? But that's it. If anyone has any questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. If you have a question or a comment about this video, please leave it in the comment section below, because the benefit of leaving a comment or a question is someone else will get the chance to read and learn. Again, one of the quotes in here I read, the person that does not read has no advantage over the person that cannot read. So leave a comment below, benefit someone else's life. They might have never thought about the question or comment that you had, and they can learn from it. So Eddie in Lynn, Massachusetts. Where's my flashlight? I have a smaller one, I just can't find it. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut Transition gray Signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Prevencia, the harmful blue blocking ability of Prevencia, and your RayBan 5277 in color 2077 in the 52 eye size, the sandblasted black. This also comes in about 5 or 6 colors. It comes in a shiny black, but he wanted the matte black. The nice thing about the matte black, it doesn't show fingerprints like the shiny black will. Of course, there's tortoise. There's one I have with a gray blue front and the tortoise temples. I really like that pair. If it were larger, I'd be wearing that myself. I only wish my frame come in that blue front with the tortoise temples. As you see, as I continue to run my mouth, the lenses are lightening up. If I talk for another minute, they'll be back to clear. So this is a good opportunity to say, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel. Or feel free to post this video to your social media so more people can learn. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook as Free Prescription Lenses. My username on Twitter is FreeRxLenses because my 22 characters is too much for Twitter and I had to shorten it. So that's the first time anyone told me it was too long. Sorry. Honey, I said I would quit those jokes in my videos because no one has my sense of humor. So where was I at? Oh yeah, so yeah, follow me if you want to see more pictures of the work that I continue to do. Again, please leave a comment down below if there's a book that has changed your life for the better. Eddie, I'm sorry to ramble on. The holidays are coming and I feel like I'm a changed person for the better. Again, please contact me and let me know what pair of glasses I can donate for someone in your community. It could be in your school, a family member, anything like that, frame and lenses. I will get them in the mail. All I need is the prescription and the pupillary distance and an address, and I can mail a pair of glasses anywhere that you need me to do. So that's it. Thanks for going past the 8-minute mark that I was told to never do, and hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that loving feeling back to glasses. Thank you.